Hello all, my name is John, and you're watching Tattooner, the channel where we explore art, music, and the creative process. Today is part 2 in our series Extrusions. In this shop, the word extrusion refers to a group of my sculpted art pieces. I call them that because they're oriented vertically like a painting or an otherwise a framed piece, and they kind of extrude, if you will. They come away from the wall toward the viewer. I like to think of them as something that's kind of going on the other side of the wall or in another plane of existence, and that the piece comes forward toward us. It extrudes, thus the name Extrusions. Each piece of mine has a somewhat unique story, and this one is no different. So today we're not only going to look at the piece, but we're going to dive into the effort I needed to make the piece presentable once again. So without further delay, here's today's subject in this part 2 in our series Extrusions, here on Tattooner. And of course, please like and subscribe. Tell everyone you know. And here, my friends, is today's subject. This extrusion was fabricated around 2012 and has 2 siblings. It's a member of a triptych, a trio of pieces that were created all at the same time, have matching frames, color schemes, and styles. The other 2 pieces have gone on to live separate lives in separate locations, while this one has remained behind with me. Its dimensions are, 3 3/4 inches wide, 4 5/8 inches high, and a depth of 2.5 inches. Unlike the first piece that we featured in the series, which was literally leaping off the wall and out of its frame, this piece is situated much further inside. The box frame itself is a good deal deeper, and so the piece is situated thus, and therefore creates a kind of mystery, a kind of unseeableness, whereas the other one, you could see all sides of it. This one, you can see the front, but the top and the sides, they're kind of recessed to a degree where you can't really get your eye on them. Thus, this piece has a little bit more of a mystery to hide, has a little bit more of a secret to hold, whereas the first piece we looked at really wanted all the attention in the room. Free of the shadow box it displays in, you can see that this piece is pretty simple. It's just a block of 3/4 inch MDF with a little bit of Bondo on the body. Right here you can see a little bit of shapeliness. There's some furniture nails. These are some wood plugs. That's a piece of a shower curtain ring. These silver parts are masonite that I sanded to a bevel, and the wooden ball you can see from the craft store. And then you can see the little dowels. See, the silver parts are being held with the dowels, and you see the furniture nail there. So it's all pretty simple. And then after I spray painted it, I took a brush and painted on the strokes and the dots and so forth to give it a little extra movement, and overall just kind of create a little fun sensation for the eyes. And there it is. So now we're going to fix the box, repair the paint job, and glue them back together, and enjoy the piece as a final finished art object once more. What follows is a kind of hodgepodge showcasing the 3 attempts it took me to restore this piece. It was just a simple bit of spray painting, but that's the thing about art. Sometimes simple is the hard stuff, and complicated is where you can hide all your mistakes and have a lot of room for screwing around. But something simple sometimes really takes a lot of rigidity and control to make happen. Sandpaper. And what I've already done is gone along and knocked down this front edge surface, which was the part of the box that I had to repair when I was working on the piece last. There we go. This will be the handle, a 1/16 of an inch smaller on all sides than like so. Like what I'm making here. It's fun. See, I get to glue cardboard together, and we're not even on the real art project yet. Tension, and now, haha, there we go. Do my last little bit of dust removal. All right, here goes nothing. First we're going to do the inside, and then we're going to do the front face and then the four sides. Ready? Some paint. Oh, yes, we do. Here it comes. Front face. Side one. Oh, man. Ah. The paint can just jammed. Oh, okay. We turned it over, cleared it out, and we're free. Okay, again, spraying. One side, two sides, three sides, and four sides. Ooh, look at that. Bubble. Come on, bubble pop. Damn you. Look at that. I got a little something right on this front face, and there too. All right, how does this paint job look? Let's have a close-up examination here. It doesn't really look bad in person, but this video is really revealing the flaws like tremendously. But that's kind of good. I want to show up close that things, you do your best, you get what you get. Question is, do we want to try to fix it again, or do we want to just kind of accept things as they are to bond to? But as far as that corner is concerned, I don't know. This video will conclude with my decision on whether to try to fix that again or not. So let's have a look at our box now that we've done a second repair job on it. The first one didn't quite work, so we had to go in and get a little more serious. And there it is. Now it still has a couple of issues. If you look at this corner right here with the glare, you can see that little imperfection. Some kind of a piece of dust or something just refused to stay out of my way. And if we come down this edge here, you see this corner. Now this corner was the problem. This is what was messing with my head, was what a mess this corner was. It's an awful lot less of a mess now. But as you, again, look inside, you see plenty of topography on that back face. You see this piece of schmutz up here and so on. But really, and that you're looking at now is a portion of the back of the box, which is still bare wood that had a piece of tape over it, protecting it while I did the finishing. That bare wood is going to be used for that glue. And it's going to be to this back of this surface, which you'll also notice is bare wood with a dowel coming out of it. That dowel corresponds to that hole right there. And what happens when we put these together? Well, we get something like this. Whoa, look at that. Now, friends, the sculpture it's okay. It's a nice little piece, but it's like not the most amazing thing I've ever done. And the box, well, it's just a box, just a black box. But when you put these two things together, something very interesting happens. Suddenly, there appears this really resonating fascinating contrast between the busyness of the piece and the simplicity of the box. The idea of the space around the piece, thus conferring its sort of suspended status, only becomes obvious when the frame encloses it. So these two elements go hand in hand and are in fact quite indispensable to each other. Alas, I decided the piece warranted still more effort. This is attempt number 3, to take this small shadow box sculpture and give it the slight repair it needs on the paint job. The first 2 attempts simply didn't work, and I gave it my best to try and be cool about it and just let a little imperfection get by me, but honestly, no bad work leaves the shop, as I like to say, and even on a small personal piece like this, I'm afraid the rules are the rules. So I was hoping to make this a certain video about maybe just accepting compromise and dealing with reality, but instead the video looks like it's going to be about chasing your dreams and going for the gold. That's what we do here. This is Tattooner. Please like and subscribe. Support the channel. I appreciate it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to sand the box down again. 3rd time. I tried to let it go, folks. I tried. Sorry. I tried. But didn't work. So we've got a little surface detail here. We've inherited a little trouble in the back here that wasn't there at the beginning. So that's kind of a new problem. So all in all, this thing just kind of refuses to submit to being just done right. Got some 220 to knock it down with, some 400 to kind of do some of the fine sanding with, and then a 600 to work over most of it, and then finally a 2000 grit. And here's the other thing that's going to be different. Brand new can of paint. This thing that I finished this thing with was this old can of paint that is almost empty. And for all I know, was the same can I used to spray it the first time, oh, I don't know, 10 years ago? Longer? So that was, probably if I made a mistake, that was well one of them. I can see the unevenness of the wear as the sandpaper cuts through the layers of paint. So some areas are higher than others. Hopefully this action here will be the beginning of evening everything out. Okay, now we've got a box that's pretty well knocked down on the outside. The entire outside is now pretty well done. Did I mention this was a brand new can of paint? Okay. All right, here we go. I think that new paint was definitely the right move. That material went on like that. More spraying followed. That's why they call it fine art, because the resolution is very high. The degree of finish is very high. Oftentimes the artist is very high. I'm using a delicate surface Scotch brand painter's tape. Got the purple color, thin paper, and the adhesive is light, so it won't damage finishes. It's forgiving on things. So as you're working on stuff that already has paint on it and things, and you need to go lightly, but you still need to do stuff like this, I recommend this. This is ordinary painter's tape. The paper is a lot thicker, the adhesive is a lot stronger. It's very good for other things, but not for stuff like this. You want to use the delicate surface. Okay. Our delicate surface is almost ready here. Spindle off. Uh-oh, here comes the problem. I see it. Yep. Pretty thick in there. I just saw it running a little bit. And great news, everybody. I screwed up a bunch of video and now I can't use it. So many minutes of coverage of this process aren't going to be in the final product, and so you're not going to be forced to watch it. And I'm not going to be forced to edit it. It's great. It's a win-win for both of us, I can assure you. Problem is, it was some good stuff. Some of it was really quite on the mark, and I would have been proud to show you that. So, well, this is Tattooner, where we explore art, music, and the creative process. And certainly a big part of the creative process is the unexpected, wrench in the works or the pothole that throws everything out of the car. So let me get right to the point. The final spray job on our box was a success. The result is acceptable. It looks really nice all around. It has a nice even texture, the sheen, the surface detail, everything is very uniform and very good. There's nothing. The front face is good, though you can tell the paint is on a little bit thick. But overall, the texture, the sheen, the finish is uniform and nice. And so we're going to mix up a little 2-part epoxy. We're going to apply it to this bare wood portion of the back of the sculpture where the little dowel is. I'm going to similarly apply a little bit of epoxy to the box and glue them together. So now you got your shadow box with the bare wood in the back, ready to take the sculpture with our epoxy. And our signature is looking pretty decent on the back, D24. All right. Now, I had to turn the lights out. Sorry for the change in the look of things. They were just getting too noisy. So no matter, it's not going to disrupt what we're doing here. We are ready to do our final assembly. This is a big moment. All right, so I realized with the video that I can't use now, that I told you the story of what happened to the other 2 sculptures. That's why it was a bummer that that video got lost. Okay. We're going to squeeze out a little epoxy here. Mix it on up. Here we go. Take some epoxy. Put it here and here on the bare wood on the back. Just a little bit of a layer, a little bit of a thickness. Similarly, I'm going to put some into the hole here where the dowel goes. There. Should be more than plenty. Now, just don't put it in upside down and everything should be fine. Okay. Important check there. We're good. Here we go. There we go. Look at that. Ooh. As is very necessary with things like this, sometimes you just got to get away before something happens and you screw it up again, like now, because I think it's not straight, so I want to turn it a tiny little amount, just enough to come back a minute later and think it's too far the other way and try to turn it back. Ah, bravo. Okay, let's go have a look at our piece. It's in the piano shop area, and There's Elsa. Hello, Elsa. And I think that epoxy has had time to set up by now, so let's see how we look. Ooh, beautiful. Look at that. Wonderful. Look at that. So beautiful. So nice to see it back up on the wall, on display. No issues, no problems. Nothing I gotta halt the whole enjoyment process about and do anything about. Well, friends, there it is. Another extrusion. I so hope you enjoyed the presentation today, and I want to thank you for watching. I hope that you'll also like and subscribe and tell everybody you know about Tattooner, and hurry back for the next video where we will explore art, music, and the creative process. This was part 2 in our series on extrusions. Part 3 will commence immediately, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm very excited about picking out another piece and diving in and seeing what we can come up with for a nice, proper video showing you all about how I made it and what inspired me. Till then, my name is John, this is Tattooner, and I hope all of you will be back again. Until then, be well.